Gotta work the way through the reference whiskeys, and we pull Distillarium. Distillarium. Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna show you what happened with these guys in a second. These guys emailed and said, hey, I want to drop by a whiskey for you to review. And I said, well, it's gonna be in this thing where I tell everybody that you gave it to me and that you wanted to be on the channel. What do you want me to review? And he said, I'm gonna bring you a whiskey pie. And then like a week later, I was out of town, I came back, and one of my people said, hey, somebody dropped off whiskey for you. I was like, oh, sweet. This is what he dropped off. There's like 5 more bottles in this box. So I emailed him back. I was like, hey, I can't like pick one or two that you want me to actually try on camera. And so he picked these 2, but I got a whole bunch more whiskey and a brandy. Which I've been getting into brandy, and so I'm kind of excited about that. So I'll try that, but not on camera. Anyway, thank you guys. This is cool. These guys are actually doing their own stuff. Ken was the one who sent everything. Ken Miller. They are Washington Distillarium. Where is his original email? Anyway, so, and then Austin, who's the distiller at Distillarium, and they've got a whole cool story. But one of these is a Triticale, and one's a rye. Neither of those things tend to be my preferred flavor profile, but I'm gonna try them blind, and then we're gonna read the notes that Austin sent me, and then I'm gonna go on the website and show you. I'm kind of a fan of this stuff. I'm glad that like their whole story and everything. And wow, they got these through Texas. They got distribution into Texas. Damn! I'm gonna start with Triticale because my experience with Triticale has been that it's not a really high drama flavor profile. So if I do rye first, that might sort of screw with it. So this one is called Cask and Spin Triticale E. I love how everyone still hassles about pronunciation as if I ever have really made a priority out of that. Every time someone hassles pronunciation, I just want to comment in the comments, so you must be new here. 4-year-old. This is batch 1, bottle 349, 116 proof. And it, yep, so they're doing everything. They're not, including like localized grains, which is really great. Not always the case. Not always true. But it's true with these guys. Yakima, is it Yakima? This is actually one I've always been curious about because I've driven through there quite a bit in Washington. Is it Yakima? Y-A-K-I-M-A, or is it Yakima? Or something totally different. Okay, so I have no markers for Triticale whiskey. So I got nothing to compare it against in my head. I'm struggling to find anything specific other than a soft caramelized sweetness that leans vanilla with a little bit of cut grass. It's starting to get a little bit of like a really light to medium cigar wrapper kind of note. Yeah, like oh, what would like the Olivas that I use as a budget smoke. They have this Connecticut wrapper that's really great, and it leans a little bit tobacco-y that direction. All right, before I sip, I'm gonna smell the rye whiskey. This one's called No Man's Whiskey, evidently named after horses and things. Okay. That's not even a typical rye either. For a rye, it's way more soft. It has this slight phenolic, like rubber sweet toy smell from like when you used to get those toys when you were a kid from the like a Happy Meal or something, and you squeeze it. Has the air hole. Rex and I have talked about this before. You squeeze it and there's this like sweet vanilla note, but it's rubbery. And then as it sits, get a little bit of cinnamon sugar, A little bit of toasted bread. It's really gentle. And this is cask strength. I got the cask strength one. This is batch 3, 116 proof, bottle 175. I wonder if the higher proof is just holding on to chemicals. I'm going to try them both. I'm going to add a little water. So, Triticale. Oh, hey, nice little nutty toffee and almond palette. And then as it opens, it turns into a sort of an almost espresso bitterness. Then it gets a little tannic, and then it gets burnt toffee. It's very simple, but interesting. Again, I've got no reference for Triticale, but let's try the rye. Let me have a little drink of water first. Oh, ooh, hey, that got a little, I need to try that again. I'm in my head thinking, and it's distracting from my palate tasting notes, but there was a little bit of this sort of like wicker, tangy note that sort of threw me sideways a little bit. Okay, that's better. Now it's rolling into classic, deep, rich, honey dense rye grain baking pastry, dark chocolate covered cherry, really kind of a tannic bitter finish. I'm gonna add a little water to both of these, and then I'm gonna read what Austin wrote. I always appreciate when people go out of their way to like, hey, here's the whole story. And these guys have done it. So let's talk about the Triticale. He said, hey man, cask and spin is 95% Triticale and 5% malted barley. Same process as the other whiskey, which maybe I should have read that first. They mill, ferment, and then distill multiple times on a 350-gallon pot column hybrid still. They age in full-size 50-gallon ISC, which is one of my preferred cooperages in the U.S. 7 years they've been making this whiskey. How old is this one, I wonder? Did we get an age statement? Is this 7-year-old Triticale? That's insane, if it is. Fun one, not everyone's heard of it. Being a hybrid grain of wheat and rye is pretty cool. You get the best of both without just being... Yeah, so in case you don't know, Triticale is a hybrid grain that was manufactured to sort of provide the softness of wheat for bread and things like that, but the hardiness of rye in order to withstand crazy elements and extreme winters and things like that. And so it's like if you took rye and watered it down with wheat. It's not exactly, but it's in that direction. He says the rye is 95% Gazelle rye and 5% malted barley. The rye is from their farm in Ritzville, Washington. They do everything themselves. That's really cool. The name of the No Man's whiskey is David and Terry Stroud owned a reining horse called No Man's Whiskey. Earned himself a name with the 2022 Run for the Million, which is one of the more prestigious reining competitions in the world. Known for his long flowing mane, and with the name made to adorn a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, no joke. The debut of a private label featuring No Man's Whiskey was nothing but destined to be. So, Evan, did they partner with David and Terry Stroud? Austin? If you read the comments, pipe in the comments. Okay, yeah, it's just the write-up that's on the bottle. That's cool. Just named after a cool horse. Why not? Got to name it after something. By the way, I don't know who wrote the bottle, but I was reading this line at the bottom. Oh, wrong side. Indulge in the legend, savor the strength, celebrate the heritage, No Man's Whiskey. And I saw it over here too. Ignite your senses with a dance, daring you. This is really great writing. I don't know who's in charge of writing this, but one of the things we're constantly teaching in the school is forget adjectives, hit the ground running with really powerful verbs, and they do most of the work for you. And all of the writing in here has really powerful verbs. There's a lot of clarity and purpose and clarity in statements. And it doesn't say a ton sometimes. I mean, there's a cool story about Nunez whiskey. But like, indulge, savor, celebrate. That's great. Great writing. So I don't know who wrote this, but well done. You should come to Wizard Academy because you're definitely our kind of people. I want to try the bourbon. This is literally why they dropped this off, because they knew I would do this. Punks. With a little water. Oh, the Triticale gets way more honey cream, strawberry cream. Palate's way nicer. Softer, simpler, sweeter, lower tannins. On the rye, it becomes more rye-like, more classic baking spice notes. Oh, the palate. Oh, there it is. Just rolls out. With a little dash of water, this rye comes alive in the palate. Nose condenses, stays about the same sort of density. Palate just rolls out beautifully. I'm not going to look this up on the website because they gave me a ton of information. You can go look at their website. It's really cool. It's beautiful. It's well designed. I'm going to get one more glass and try the bourbon, even though we're 13 minutes in. And I'm specifically grabbing the cask strength bourbon because I'm curious what happens to their approach in Washington. So this is called cask and slide instead of cask and spin. Ooh. That's such a dick move. Sorry, guys. Let's see what she wrote up about this one, or he wrote up about this one. Oh, local grains. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Authenticity. Yeah. A lot of hyperbole on the write-up. Not a lot of information. Beautiful bottle, though. I like the label. Now I wish he had written up exactly what was all in this bourbon. I am actually going to get up and see if I can find out what's in here. Okay. Distillarium cask and... Ooh, can't spell. Cask and slide. They say... Pop-up window. Man, I hate pop-ups. Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay. 83% corn, 12% gazelle rye, 5% malted barley, 4 years old at least. ISC 43 char. Okay, cool. The labels are really pretty. So this is 80% corn. 83% corn. 83% corn. They have this thing that happened on all three of these that's different after a little water, which is that the nose at 116 feels closed off to me. Like, it feels like I'm struggling to fight and pull things out of it, you know? Like, you ever been hanging out with somebody and you're trying to start a conversation and they're just not giving you anything, like, but one-word answers? That's what it feels like on the nose. Like, I know there's stuff there. I just can't get it to give it up. It's dark. It's corn dusty. It's maple syrup. It's simple. I'm going to add water. Hopefully that brings it to life. Oh, yeah, there we go. Deep caramel, dark fruit, barrel tannin, weight. It's got weight and body to it. That's my favorite of these three. That's a solid bourbon. That's a really solid bourbon on the palate. Hoping a little water opens the nose up. It sort of does. It brings forward more of the dust and more of the oak, but not more of the fruit or the other notes. Gets a little more tannic. It's a nice nose. It's a simple nose. Palate's not as good. Damn it. I think I should have left it alone. Oh, there's a new note in there with a little bit of water. It almost turns into latte, like coffee cream, which is a weird thing to find in a bourbon. It's still definitely bourbon. Sweeter, ooh, which I don't like. I'm gonna dump this into the rye and pour myself a little more of it neat again. Just so, okay. Again, the nose drops and diminishes. Palate is beautiful. Okay, that's by far my favorite. Then the rye, then the triticale. I like the novelty of this, but it's simple and it's sweet. I could see this would be a good entry, like introduction to this place. All of it is really well done whiskey. No real faults or like, it's just well done. The rye is actually my preferred direction of rye. And the bourbon is actually my favorite of the three. And whoever is doing your writing is a really good writer. So I hope that helps. And cheers to you. I'm really glad you're here. Over here, there's things to watch. And somewhere around here, there's a like and subscribe button. Like and subscribe.